Chick, 1, 2. Is this thing on? Chick. What's going on, everybody? My name is Alex, coming at you with another video. We're coming at you from down under in Australia. And here we go. Let's get into the content. What is wrong with me? I don't understand what is wrong with me. I find this funny. I hope you find it. I don't know. Whatever. It doesn't even matter. So today we're going to be responding to a video by a person that is not a buddy of mine. They're not a friend of mine. I don't really know them. I actually met them once, but it's not really the point. Ch0pper. You know him, you love him, great guy. So he made a video, I think about a week ago. It's taken me a while to respond to this, and I do apologize for that. But so in his video, which I will leave a link for in the description, he is talking about basically 12 things that he would do to kind of revitalize the zombies mode, and he makes a lot of great points, and I am going to compliment some of those points, maybe argue a little bit. I mostly agree with a lot of what he has to say. I think I made some notes here. We're gonna review them. I haven't looked at them in a week, so it's actually gonna be a little bit of a reaction to some notes that I took a week ago reacting to another video. That's really stupid. I shouldn't have said that out loud. But before we dive into the main content, if you could consider leaving a subscription and a like if you're into this type of content, and if you're not, then hit that dislike button so I know to get out of your way. Okay, so instead of playing Ch0pper's video and reacting to it, I didn't want to get a copyright strike or anything, so I'm going to actually just kind of break down each one of his points. So his first point out of approximately 12, we might jump around here a little bit, but his first point was take a break. So he basically wants zombies to be spread out. So back in the day, we used to have Black Ops 1, and then we wouldn't have zombies until Black Ops 2, and then we wouldn't have zombies until Black Ops 3. Well, that's kind of untrue because that's when Advanced Warfare came out and stuff. But for the most part, we had these like 2 to 3 year gaps where we were just anticipating content for the next title. And I kind of can go both ways on this. It's not necessarily that I think we need content to be spread out. I would much rather have one developer hone in on that content. It would be nice if Treyarch just kind of continually updated their game throughout its life cycle and beyond, kind of like what they did with Black Ops 3, extending the life of the current game that we're playing, rather than just kind of ship it out, treat it as a live service game for multiplayer, and then move on to the next one. Because if you think about it, zombies is not the same way as multiplayer. Yes, there is a lot of live service elements that go into it, but it has a little bit more of a like campaign single player experience into it where you could replay these maps for years to come. So polishing it beyond its death date, its expiration date, would actually extend the lifespan of the community and extend the lifespan of the game. And Black Ops 3 has done that with custom maps, which we will get into in a little bit. So his second point is getting off of the Modern Warfare 2019 engine. I could not agree more. And you know what? If you go back and watch my videos when I was talking about Vanguard being on the Modern Warfare 2019 and how zombies is going to be amazing, I was dead wrong. I was so wrong. The Modern Warfare 2019 engine is really good for multiplayer, for Warzone, for the double sprint, having the gun fly up. You really feel like you're this tactical soldier kind of on the battlefield. You know, obviously it's completely synthetic and fake and all that stuff, but you know what I mean. You feel very immersed in the multiplayer experience. And when I transferred this kind of mentality over into zombies, it does not feel the same. Butting the gun with the zombies, and I know that was in Cold War. Eventually you earned your way out of it. Hitting the zombies with the butt of your gun just sounds wrong. The way that we have that tac sprint now, it's not working for me. The way the gun's ADS super slow. You can't see anything because of all the muzzle smoke and of all of the crap that is coming out of the gun with the particle effects and the smoke effects. It is just an absolute nightmare, specifically for zombies. Now, I was even under the impression that the art direction for this particular game was going to blow me out of the water, and I do think there is some cool stuff here at its core, but they've abandoned it. I mean, I guess we'll see what happens with Season 1 Reloaded, etc., but like, if right now the graphics, the engine have really set us back from that Treyarch cartoony zombie fantastical style. It's much more grounded and gritty like it was in the World War II COD days with Cameron Dayton, and I did not like that art direction at all. I thought the gods and the relics and all this zombie dark lore shit was going to be amazing, and it actually turned out to be quite disappointing. Okay, moving on to point number 3. This is what Ch0pper referred to as adding a portal, like what we have inside of Battlefield 2042. I actually don't think this is a good idea, and I'm going to tell you why. So why he wants it is so that we can have these original maps in their original state, and we can go back to them and play them whenever we want. I don't think that's a good idea because A, Activision will probably just nickel and dime the shit out of us if we have a feature like that. They're not going to let us access this stuff for free. Maybe on console it would be a good idea because it would maybe give people an ability to create some sort of custom maps, which again, we are going to get to towards the end of this video. But I don't think that's necessarily a great idea, and I don't want the devs to waste resources on this and taking resources away from what's actually necessary, which is round-based content, Easter eggs, boss fights, dark ether camos, reward systems, progression. All of that stuff is much more important than creating an area for players to be able to create custom stuff right off the bat. And I would like it to maybe come down the pipeline later, if we can go back to point 1 for a second, where we can elongate the life cycle of specifically zombies inside of a certain game. Then I would like that to be added later so that the fans can elongate their content and then Treyarch can just step away, giving us the tools that we need. Then I would be okay with it. But for the most part, I don't really want something like that where we can just have all of the maps in one game, because then you're basically just asking for a standalone zombies game. I don't know. I go back and forth with that. I don't necessarily know if I would like that, because if it fails once, it's probably never going to happen again. And having it as a side mode, while I wish it was loved a lot more, it gives us some time to breathe, some space in between map releases and stuff like that, rather than just being overwhelmed with content, kind of like we were at the beginning of Black Ops 4. So his next point number 4, is Easter egg accessibility, and he was talking about having a hardcore and an easy core Easter egg inside of the game. Now, if you are unfamiliar with the Final Reich, which was World War II Zombies' first map, their launch map with their game all the way back in 2017, I believe. Now, the reason the Easter egg in this map is so beloved is because it allowed fans to have this kind of a notebook feature that highlighted, similar to a way Treyarch did with Cold War, the next step, the next areas of progression that you needed to fulfill in order to complete this Easter egg quest. And it ended with a boss fight, and it was pretty awesome. And then they extended that quest and had it a more traditional, more difficult quest with things not as highlighted. You had to kind of dig a little deeper beneath the surface. This needs to be a staple. It 100% does. I was just playing The Forsaken a minute ago, and man, I love that Easter egg. It's so good. It's so simple. It's so quick, but it's over so fast. It is over before you know it. You collect the 3 stones, you build the crystal axe, you destroy the 3 crystal piles, you do that transport step where you're defending the Ethereum neutralizer device, and then the boss fight is super easy, and then it's over. And I really wish they would just amplify that up. Having an easy core mode where everybody can just access the Easter egg is such a good idea, and I know that they're going to do that. So why not step it up just a little bit more? Take it a little bit further. We know that they can. We know that they have the capability of creating stuff like this. We've seen it in the Final Reich, and Treyarch has made far more difficult Easter eggs than the Final Reich. So why not give all of the players what they want rather than just some of the players, even if it is a majority? Okay, going on to the next point, number 5, consumables need to come back. So a lot of people disagree with me on this, and I'm glad Ch0pper doesn't. I want consumables back so much. Gobblegums are the perfect system. He is correct. I would even settle for something like Fate and Fortune cards, because Fate and Fortune cards were not a crutch. They allowed you to have an extra buff if you wanted, but you still had to earn whatever you were going for. So the other day when I was playing Zombies in Spaceland, I had to go for a Perkaholic using the Ghost and Skulls hacking card, but I still had to play the Ghost and Skulls machine. And I actually failed once, which means I failed one of my consumables. Now, here's the catch. I don't think that they should be paid for. We should be able to earn them through in-game grinding, high round stuff, Easter egg stuff. Maybe they come with some blueprints, whatever. We need to be able to earn all of that crap inside of the menus one way or another. I'm tired of the paid loot box gambling mechanics that have come with the CODs of old. I do want something a little bit more progressive in that regard. Consumables definitely really allow for a lot of variability inside of your game. And thinking all the way back to Gobblegums, you could use a power vacuum, you could use a burned out Gobblegum, you could use self-medication, Perkaholic, on the house, whatever. You could mix and match and have a weird kind of almost PC mod-like experience inside of your console. And the fact that they took that away really streamlined the mode and made it so that it was essentially the same game every frickin' time. And I'm not talking about doing the Easter egg where it's like open up Pack-a-Punch, get the shield, turn on the power, like those same 5 steps, those same core 5 steps. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about even just casual play. It's the same every single time. There's no variability because you don't have a way to break the rules inside of the game. So his next point is high round difficulty. He thinks that it needs to be addressed, reworked for actual difficulty rather than based on time spent in game. And I kind of agree and disagree. Like, I like that I was able to get into the high rounds for Forsaken, Marauder Totem, and do the boss fight. It wouldn't take me like 75 hours. You could do a Forsaken high round run in like 3 or 4 hours and do the boss fight. Round 100 video goes up on YouTube. It's great for that kind of stuff. So I do really like how they've reworked it. However, there's only like 1 or 2 strategies per map, and it's very limiting. It's very boring. You could also argue and make that same point if you wanted to keep it how it is. Blood of the Dead is a great example of a high round map that is very limited in its strategy. Yes, you can use the Magma Gat on top of the roof for a little while, but you end up having to use that trap all the way near spawn because it does like a monkey bomb effect where it just kills all the zombies. But then I start thinking about maps like Beast from Beyond with Infinite Warfare, where people were actually able to find weird strategies in order to get to high rounds. And I don't know if you know this, but if you don't turn the power on inside of Beast from Beyond and you use the Venom X, you can actually get to like round 255 or whatever the limit is just by killing cryptids really fast in a certain area inside of the map. So I liked when people figured out weird strategies for that. That has been completely removed from the loss of consumables, from the loss of high rounds being a lot easier and more accessible. A lot of stuff just by Treyarch shaving the edges so slightly on all these different areas has made the game a lot more streamlined, which is good for efficiency, but it's bad for replayability. So his next point, which we're on number 7 out of 12, is operators lack relatability. He makes a good point here. Operators are boring as crap, but I have been kind of thinking about it and they don't bother me too much. I don't mind having the faces pop up on the screen. Like, in my opinion, it doesn't make a difference like who's talking as long as there's good dialogue and good characters. But when you go back and you play an older map and you actually are the character, it does feel a little more alive. It does feel a little more, I don't know, like full inside of the experience. He brings up the World War II operator system where you can actually earn operators through challenges, play as whoever you want, also play as the crew and hear all the voice lines and stuff. This is the direction we need to go. However, I would like to take it one step further where they actually bring back specialists into the multiplayer from the campaign, etc., and then give us a crew and zombies, and then allow us to earn skins and unlockable blueprints and whatever characters through challenges in game. Completing the Easter egg in like under 90 minutes, completing the Easter egg with no perks will get you all of these characters, and then you can buy all of these skins for them, and people are going to see them inside of the shop. They'll be like, well, who's that character? How do I buy that skin? Well, you have to unlock it in game by completing the Easter egg with only a pistol or whatever. Giving people these rewards and then allowing them to buy shit to customize the rewards is actually a good incentive, and it will make people stay in the game. And if you can deliver a polished game, it'll actually incentivize the player to stay even longer. I mean, I think that World War II Zombies had like 50 characters that you could unlock. It was a lot with a ton of custom skins, and it was very, very awesome. And some of these challenges were really, really hard. So when you saw somebody with like that zombie skin, you were like, holy shit, this guy is fucking good. The next point is keeping things out of the menus, keeping upgrading into the game, the map, or the match. So I do strongly agree with this point. And what he is talking about, what he's elaborating on, is not having like a dark ether crystal unlock system. So I do disagree with something like that. I actually did enjoy the dark ether crystal grind. I think it needs to be spread out a little bit more so there's a little bit longer of an end game here. But yes, most of the progression needs to be inside of the game. When you think about a map that has a unique feature set, it makes you want to go back and play that map. So we're going to talk about Ch0pper Nishima for a second. When you're playing Ch0pper Nishima, you know that you're going to do things in a certain way, and you can can trick and manipulate your way to extend your play session. So for example, if I wanted to do the Ch0pper Nishima Easter egg with no gobblegum and I wanted to like hack my way into having extra perks, I would do a trick to get a free perk bottle. Then I would go to the cave to get the widow's wine after killing the spider. And then if I wanted to have like a self-medication-esque reward, I would create the pod through the plant, through the watering system. All of these progression features inside of the game, you might not feel like they're progression features, but they are, because they allow you to progress to get further in the game. You unlock new stuff inside of the map, and that allows you to take advantage of all of its secrets. It's a unique feature set that will get you to come back to the map, because that pod thing inside of Ch0pper is not on Origins. It's not on Shadows of Evil. It's not on Mob of the Dead. So you have to go to those maps to get the experience that's different from Zet. And with Cold War, all of the experience was exactly the same due to the progression being outside in the menus rather than inside of the actual map itself. So then he starts talking about skill ranking systems, which happened in Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2. I personally don't care about this. I think that that could be more implemented and showcased through rewards. So if we have an Easter egg that, you know, like I said, you need to complete in 90 minutes or less, and you can get this crazy character, this crazy blueprint, and then you can unlock even more features, or perhaps you beat the Easter egg without unlocking the wonder weapon in the map, and then you get a crazy skin or an elaborate new style of the wonder weapon. I think that is a skill ranking system in itself, and allowing you to have special emblems and calling cards when you do those things, and people can be like, what the hell, where did you get that? Rather than having shotguns or double skulls or whatever it is, because people hack those things and they're not really that cool in my opinion. So I don't really care about having a skill ranking system unless they did something like factions, which apparently the leaks are suggesting. But overall, having custom rewards through in-game challenges will show off your skill, which will make the game a lot more competitive and fun and long-lasting and increase player retention. So this is kind of his biggest point, in my opinion. And man, I can really see myself disagreeing, but I think it's like a necessary evil at this point. He thinks Outbreak needs to coexist alongside round-based zombies. Now, my gut reaction tells me no, 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 no. I don't want any more Outbreak, especially if they're going to do it in the way they just did it. So I did play the mode the other day, and we're going to come out with a video called Is Outbreak Still Fun? It's going to be part 2 of the review I made from Outbreak all the way back in March when it launched. Outbreak is a lot better than it was, okay? It definitely is. I don't really care about the gameplay features because I don't want to be in the space that Treyarch has set up for me. I don't want to be in Alpine. I don't want to be in Ruka or Duga. I don't want to be in any of those places. They are multiplayer places, and they're not dark and gritty and full of life like these other zombies maps are for the most part. So if they flip that script and they had this giant open world experience with 6 to 7 unique, amazing zombie maps, hell yeah, I would want that alongside of round-based, but I just don't think they're going to do that. But on the other hand, guys, Ch0pper's right. There is a new subsect of zombies fans that love Outbreak, and they're going to want this. And if it allows more money to go into zombies, and it means more round-based maps, and it means more unique Outbreak maps, and they can fully flush out these great Easter eggs across the whole mode and make each thing feel distinct and unique rather than this, like, I don't know, unification that they did, then yeah, I'm all for that. But I like each of these experiences to be unique so that I can seek whatever feeling I am shooting for rather than just like saying I'm going to play Cold War zombies and then just picking a map out of a hat. Then he talks about custom maps, and we've kind of touched on this already. I do want there to be custom maps. I think that is great, but there is just so much content when it comes to custom maps that it can be a little bit overwhelming, and I don't ever really feel that same urge to play custom maps and relive that experience over and over again like I do with the Derizen Drac or a Ch0pper or a Mob or whatever it is. I don't necessarily feel that pull. So again, if they decide to extend the life cycle of a game like Black Ops 4 and they give it an extra year by giving us a portal so that fans can create all of the original maps and all the custom maps and we can have everything at the, you know, touch of a button, then that's fine. But I just don't want it to be the main source of attention or part of the main sources of attention that Treyarch gives during their development cycle, because their time is precious. Their budget is precious. They only have so many resources. And if you're adding portals and dual Easter eggs and switching switching engines and taking breaks in between releases, and having out-of-map progression and in-map progression and skill ranking systems, and all of these things coexisting with Outbreak and round-based. Like, that is a lot, and adding a whole custom map building feature inside of the mode on top of all of this is just a lot. So I really can live without the custom stuff for now. We don't need a portal as of now. What we do need are reasons to come and keep playing the game. Increased difficulty, more fantastical maps with unique feature sets, in-game and out-of-game progression for, you know, like I said, inside of the map and out of the map. Rewards that show people, hey, I did this challenge. I beat this Easter egg with pistols only, and now I have the magical zombie skin or the magical zombie blueprint or whatever it is, and then you can buy 10,000 more things of that variant inside of the shop. Activision would be making so much freaking money. In a perfect world, I would be playing Ch0pper's version of zombies or my version of zombies, and I would be fully happy. But we don't live in that perfect world, so a lot of these are going to have to go. They don't seem like big things, but when you pile them on top of each other and you see the way that the community is going and the way the community used to be, there is definitely a divergent shift. I just don't think they're going to be able to satisfy everybody. So I really just hope they focus on making the maps more unique and more fantastical like they used to, with unique feature sets, so that they can just keep us coming back with great rewards. Hopefully they bring back consumables. I know that probably will never happen, and I know a lot of people disagree with me. I hear it all the time. It's fine. I'm just saying Ch0pper makes a lot of great points. If we could just cut the custom stuff and the skill ranking, that would be good. But for the most part, I think he's bang on with his feelings, his predictions, his ideas. And that is going to do it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching this video all the way through. If you did, click that like button, click that sub button. You know how it works around here. And if you thought this was a dumb video, then just hit the dislike button and leave. That's all you got to do, bro. I mean, I wish you would stay, but like, hey man, do you? I don't judge. It's a tough life out there. But that's going to do it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Alex, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace out, everybody.